So most location independent entrepreneurs think that location independent just means freedom, but it also comes with a bit of responsibility. Basically, if you want to be able to actually perform at your best, enjoy the freedom, and grow your business, you have to set things up accordingly. So today, I want to show you guys a little bit of our house, basically our little compound. We're moving out in about a week. So before we do that, I want to take advantage of this. So what I'm going to talk about today is what's important, not just in your structure, but in the emotional structure that your house creates that enables elite performance. What are the things to watch out for when you're setting up your workspace, your living space, and everything in between, and basically how to merge that together so you get the most out of it. All right, so the first things first, this is a house we moved into 3 years ago, basically when our kid was 2 years old, and there's a lot of context in that. So the first thing you can see is I'm standing right here next to the office, and it is a completely separate building than what you see, guys, behind you, which is the house. Now, the house is very nice. It's a 3-bedroom, and the office is also a complete standalone with its own, basically, bathroom and showers and everything else that you would need. So I'm going to show you guys inside there. The house we're going to leave just to see it. It's a bit of a private zone, and we're moving, so it's a bit messy. But this is going to want to walk you guys around. So the first thing is, why did we choose to have a house that is separate, the living space and the office, and completely detached, even though it is more expensive? So context again, when our son was 2, one of the things I did not want to feel in any which way was guilty about the fact that he would want to run around and play and be loud, and I would have to have him be quiet while we're recording podcasts. So instead of having to deal with that emotion, what I did was created a structure where that was negated. And this is a big part of performance, not relying on your willpower or discipline, just creating structures where certain things just don't happen. You don't have to deal with them. So we have a separate living space. And if he wants to run around and scream and have a lot of fun in there, I can work there and I will not hear him, which is really great. So with that, let's walk into the office and I'll show you guys around kind of how we put it together. And as you guys can see, this is the background you might notice where we're usually recording. And basically the way I wanted to set it up was that this is really nice because it's big and open, but there are no distractions. Like looking out in front of you there, the view where I usually look at, there's not a lot going on. So it's just very soothing. It's very easy. And there's nothing to pull me and distract me. The second thing is that my wife and I have separate working spaces. She also works in the business and she works right over here. So there's just enough separation where we don't see each other, but if we need each other, we can call each other. Now, also a thing that you won't see in the house, but it's consistently throughout the house, are these things. So when we had to get our house renovated, we went to Hawaii for 2 months about a year ago, and we had some issues here. We had to get it renovated. The contractor said he'd never seen this many pull-up bars in one house. And a big part of that is that whole James Clear methodology of if you want to do something, just make it easy to do. So we have pull-up bars all across the house. Whenever I'm moving between here and the bathroom, I can always just basically hang a little bit, relax my shoulders, and make sure that I'm not getting office syndrome. We also have the medicine ball, the yoga balls, all these kind of accessories. Everything's just really accessible. We have a lot of these throughout the house, so that doesn't require effort. So this is the office. It's really nice because it is completely detached, also a completely detached workspace. So when I go back home, home doesn't feel like work. And I can psychologically detach from that, which is really nice. And I think that's the biggest challenge when people work from their living rooms. And yes, I get that this is a financial privilege to be able to have, but if you can't afford it, absolutely suggest that you completely detach the office from the house. Now, with that said, let's keep going to the outside along with the theme of let's make things easy. Now, also a reason I got this house specifically was because of him. Now, I knew that I would have to sometimes work a little bit longer days, and I might not have time to take him out to the beach as much as I would want to, but I still wanted him to have a good time. So one of the things I really wanted us to have is a really big yard where he can go basically around. Well, he can go around, he can run around, he can have his fun, and I never again would feel guilty that I'm not taking him out while I'm focusing on my own things. So with that said, let's also go back to how we make this easy. And now a big part of success is just creating situations where it's easy for you to win, not trying to overcome a situation that's difficult. And one of the things, again, like I wanted to be able to focus on my work and be able to work out easily. So we installed this here. This isn't that expensive. It's probably what would cost a year of a gym membership anyway. And I just have it outside here. That whole Huberman thing, how you want to get outside first thing in the morning, it is valid. A lot of other stuff he says, not, but this definitely is. And it's really nice to be able to wake up in the morning and just immediately have access to this. I have my Olympic rings, I have my adjustable weights, I have my kettlebells, I have a pretty cheap bench that does the trick, and that's kind of it. So there's never an excuse why I can't work out, or even if I'm wrecked after surfing, that I can't just stretch. Now, on top of that, we also have the kiddos boogie board and our surfboards. Now, there are small waves here, so I can't surf the really big, small surfboards. Now, another thing that I think people find interesting, there's going to be a big disparity we see between the quality and the cost of the house that we're renting and the car that we own. So most people in the neighborhood have much more expensive cars than us, even though honestly, probably, likelihood, I earn more than them. Now, this is part of my philosophy that first off, I don't want to spend a lot of time in the car. I usually don't spend more than 15, 20 minutes max a day in the car. That's part one. I don't want to need a really nice car. And part two, I just really don't care about the aesthetics of it. What's more important to me and how I spend my money is how would I want to spend my money if no one could ever know anything about it? And for me, that's a really nice living situation. Less so a car that looks impressive. And as Morgan Housel said it really well in The Art of Spending Money, The Psychology of Money, you want to have a Toyota with all the features, which is basically what we have, instead of a basic BMW. And basically, this is the thing. Like, this is something that I don't mind if we scratch up when we put the surfboards on. And honestly, if we leave here and we can't sell it, I'm also not going to be bummed out. It just creates zero pressure. Basically, there you have it. These are the biggest parts, I think, of creating an environment where it's going to be easy for you to succeed. It's one, creating a place where beyond you being productive on a surface level, you never feel emotionally pulled to not be productive because you feel like you have to let your kid play or let the dog out for a walk. But you can always just have your space and have those emotions completely be a non-issue. That's part one. Part two is optimize your space to make things easy. It is easy for me to work. It was easy for me, easy-ish to write the book because I have the right space for it. It's easy for me to stay in shape. And if you can make those initial investments, it can go a long way. And finally, just make sure it's quiet. Like, honestly, this was the biggest lesson we've learned from moving over 20 houses, is that regardless of how aesthetically beautiful a house is, if it's not quiet, if there are noisy neighbors, if you don't have high walls between you and it's not quiet and you can't sleep, nothing else matters. Basically, even if you're in the most beautiful, awesome environment, if you're sleep deprived and cranky, it doesn't add up. So that's why also you can see we have these high walls. So with all that said, why are we actually leaving this house that looks ideal? Because here's the thing, the easiest way to upgrade your mindset is to change your environment. Everything you do in life creates certain associations on a subconscious level, the ways you think, the way you operate. And we're looking for the next phase in both our business and also in just our family's life as the kiddo is older. So in order to make that happen, we're doing two things. First off, we're doing the thing in the business that you should be doing. We're hiring the people, we're growing the things. But beyond that, we're actually making it, again, easier for ourselves to change the way we think by completely changing our environment. So we found a house that's about 15 minutes away from here. The whole environment feels different as far as the streets that we drive in, the entrances to the compounds and all that. And on top of it, the house itself is different. So it's easier to upgrade yourself, your self-image, how you think, how you operate when you don't have those old points of references that we have in this house. So again, this is a beautiful house. It served us really, really well. But for us to make the next jump, we want to make it as easy as possible for ourselves. So we make the upfront effort of moving houses. And if that lands for you and you feel like you're stuck for a long time, honestly, again, one of the easiest ways to change your mindset is to change your environment. So I hope that helps. And if it does, you can click the subscribe button below to see more of these kind of videos on how to upgrade your mindset, become a better performer, and achieve your most audacious goals.